Back when I was a kid and Smash Bros. Melee was the newest installment in the series, before Brawl with its subspace bosses like Ridley, Rayquaza, and Taboo, or Ultimate with its entire boss rush of characters like Ganon, Galeem, and Dracula, there was one boss other than the well-known Mastering Crazy Hands that evaded 4-year-old Xander more than anything. When Brawl came out, I was 7 years old. I pre-ordered the game, and my dad and I went to pick it up on the first Saturday after it came out. Because presumably back then my dad didn't want me picking up games on release day during the school week, for reasons that clearly have nothing to do with what my sleeping habits are today. It's 2 a.m. and I have to go to work in 5 hours, send help. But the day I got Brawl, before I could spend 8 hours straight in the back room of my dad's store playing Subspace Emissary, I got a defective copy of the game and my dad had to drive 10 minutes back to GameStop to swap it out for one that worked. So, while I was waiting for him to do that, I was a 7-year-old left unsupervised with a laptop and internet access. So, I went to YouTube and searched for footage of the game I was moments away from playing. But that's when I discovered the Melee clip of all Melee clips. A boss fight with Giga Bowser? A bigger, stronger, and scarier version of Bowser. But was it real? I'd been burned before. My friends told me Sonic was in Melee. I was told that you could play as Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog. I looked up Giga Bowser, and everything I saw online talked about how hard it was to get this fight, and the steps sounded nearly impossible for my stupid second-grade brain. At the time, the internet told me you had to beat Classic Mode on very hard without losing a single life. At that time, I was using continues on very easy, so that wasn't gonna happen. But before I could do any more research, Dad came back with Brawl, and that was all I needed for the rest of the year. In fact, I pretty much never touched Melee again once Brawl came out, until I was in around 5th grade and my copy of Brawl broke. In that time, I also never thought about the mysterious boss fight again, so I just focused on unlocking all of the characters. Flash forward 16 long years later, I'm a college graduate with nothing better to do who wishes he was an entertainer for a living. Subscribe to help me out with that. And while my wife and I were moving into our new apartment, I found my copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee. When I started the Sanctuary channel, I knew I wanted to focus on obscure gaming videos and content that you've certainly never seen from any other gaming creators. At all. To give you a quick rundown of Adventure Mode, because if you're under the age of someone born in the early 2000s, you probably grew up with Subspace. Or with Smash 4's weird board game classic mode. No, seriously, what was that? Or Ultimate's World of Light mode. So, let me prepare you for the original Adventure Mode. You start out running through the Mushroom Kingdom, where you fight low-polygon Goombas and Koopas before committing mass genocide against Yoshi and all of his loved ones. Cross the finish line to fight Mario and Peach on top of Princess Peach's castle, but there's a secret where if you finish the level before with a 2 as the last number on the clock, you get to watch Luigi kill his brother in cold blood and take his place in the fight. This is followed by the slaughter of Donkey Kong's babies, and then Mega DK tries to take revenge for the murder of his children, only to fall in the water and immediately die. After that, you're thrown into the underground maze from Ocarina of Time. I think that's what it's from. I've never gotten that far in Ocarina and never will. But in the underground maze, you have to find the Triforce while avoiding the Master Sword so you don't get thrown into optional battles against Link and various colors of Link. Finding the Triforce sends you to a battle against Zelda, who can transform into Sheik. Remember when they shared a roster slot? Good times. Wait for her to stop running away and KO her on the giant stage that is Temple, and you'll go to Planet Zebes to kill the woman we all thought was a dude until we played the girl power event in Melee, Samus. But Samus is such a sore loser that she tries to blow up the planet with you on it, so you now have 40 seconds to climb to the top of the stage without losing a life, board what child me always thought was a warp star to go to Green Greens to fight Kirby. When you beat Kirby, a bunch of Kirbys wearing hats from different characters drop down, but if you do it too fast, Big Kirby. After all of that, you end up in Corneria City against Fox, who runs away from you. Kill him and the rest of the team will arrive, and this time, Fox is back from the dead wearing orange, so you know he means business. But he'll probably get taken out by his own teammates with the R-Wings. Hey, are you still listening? Come on, keep up! You then commit mass murder against a bunch of Pikachu in a giant Pokemon battle if they take a break from juggling you anyway. You then run for your life on the F-Zero track from all of the racers until you reach a fight to the death in Mute City with Captain Falcon. Then you have to throw a bunch of bratty kids around and own it who just want to abuse the poor Mr. Saturn all over the place. Climb a mountain, nerf the ice climbers, and you find yourself in... Multi-Man Lay waste to the wireframes, Metal Mario comes swan diving in, probably kills himself, and then there he is. Bowser. The final boss of Adventure Mode. The one we need to somehow transform into Giga Bowser. Let's do it. So I booted up Steam, looked up Giga Bowser's conditions on the wiki, and saw that you have to truly beat Adventure Mode on hard difficulty or higher in less than 18 minutes, nothing about lives or continues being listed. So we set out on stream to do that. Well, after 20 minutes of me looking for cables and memory cards that I needed to do the stream, only to find the cable buried under a bunch of boxes and find one memory card that had only Jigglypuff unlocked. Well, at that point I decided, fuck it, we ball, and without any of my better characters like Mewtwo, Roy, or Ganon, we decided to just start out as Captain Falcon, the character I main in Ultimate anyway. Well, it went... No, but seriously, who decided that on hard mode, Koopa Troopas deal 20 damage on his first stage? What the fuck? But after the run of all time with Captain Falcon, I decided it was time to go after other characters like Jigglypuff. That didn't go well. And then Donkey Kong, because if his ground slaps could work on the multi-man melee, then maybe they would work here against the Yoshis, the Kirbys, and... Oh god, I was so wrong! Well, what about Mario? He's a basic all-around character, right? Well, no, not him either. I then had the bright idea to go ahead and see if I could at least beat Adventure on normal difficulty as a test of confidence. And 3 whole continues later. Look at the Pikachu trophy I got to show for it. After nearly 3 hours of rewardless pain and suffering, and countless Pikachu corpses being thrown around and senseless Pikachu on Pikachu violence, I mean seriously, why in the hell is this level so hard? Seriously! I downbeat until I couldn't downbeat anymore and I gave up. I went to YouTube to see if there were any tips on this, and then I saw this ridiculous speedrun from Fuzziness, who did it in under 8 minutes and absolutely destroyed it! And so naturally, what I took away from this was that I needed Falco to be able to do this. After all, Falco is one of the best characters on the tier list, his Reflector apparently takes out Yoshi and Kirby in one shot each, and pretty much handles Pikachu after 1 or 2 hits. So, I went to the old reliable strategy that we all did when we were kids, picked Donkey Kong and spent the next 10 minutes spamming down B for as long as I could, and then... Donkey Kong! Donkey Kong, you cheap whore! You're kidding me! After an embarrassing loss to Falco, I did manage to unlock him on the second try and proceeded to have the absolute best Adventure Mode on hard playthrough to ever grace this particular live stream on this particular day, at this particular time, on this particular channel, where I played as Falco in that one run. And by that I mean it was the only time I ran as Falco because holy shit, it went absolutely wrong in the worst ways possible. I then saw a Reddit post claiming that Dr. Mario was the best choice for this, and since Mario is apparently the character I enjoyed playing most in Melee, I went through classic mode, unlocked Mario by doing forward... No, don't do that. Stop referencing other people, damn it. Come up with your own jokes. Anyways, a classic mode run later, and the dog was on our side. Only for me to get destroyed, rage quit, and decide that I needed to call it a night there. Until... Remember at the beginning of this video, when I said that the wiki says you have to beat Adventure on hard mode in under 18 minutes to get the Giga Bowser fight? Well, for those of you that went into the comments before
8 minutes 55 seconds
into this video, here's your, actually, because it turns out that I have shitty reading comprehension, and that says normal, not hard. So with one last desperation play, I booted the game back up, opened OBS so I could get a recording timer, clicked start, chose Pikachu, and had the best damn Adventure Mode I've ever played in 20 years that I've had Melee. I stormed through the Mushroom Kingdom, leaving nothing but Goomba juice, broken Koopa shells, and fried Yoshi skeletons in my path. I laughed on top of the fried corpses of Mario and Peach. I juggled the mini Donkey Kongs before humiliating giant Donkey Kong in less than 3 seconds and making him wish he'd never been born, before having the fastest fucking underground temple possible. I ended The Legend of Zelda by back-throwing her over and over and over and over again until she cried for mercy and admitted Ocarina of Time is overrated as fuck. I didn't even give Samus the time to blow up Zebes. I did it myself and left her there to die in the explosion. I then flew to Green Greens. I fried every Kirby into a puddle of pink goop and then bathed it. Holy shit, this is getting really dark. So, anyway, did a pretty cool combo to wipe out Fox before down being for my life and finishing the Pikachu army with a hype wheezing combo. At this point, I had one life left to my name, and I knew that a game over would pretty much kill the run. So I ran for my life at Big Blue to keep Pikachu from being roadkill, only to find myself fighting Captain Falcon, who clearly meant business. But a well-timed Thunder Shock finished that. Ness then decided to play in the street, which ended about as well as you'd expect for a 10-year-old like him. And at this point, we were 14 minutes into the run, and Ice Climbers take a guaranteed 51 seconds to even spawn in on their level. So, at this point, we were going to, at the very best, end this stage with 3 minutes left to take out the Wireframes, Metal Mario, and Bowser himself. Meaning that now, I had to do each stage in under a minute to get the fight with Giga Bowser. And then the Ice Climbers danced around the stage avoiding me as much as possible, burning the clock and killing an additional 30 seconds, meaning I now had 150 seconds to face the clock and take out the Wireframes. But then, they started just spawning into the Thunderbolt. It's like they weren't even trying. And then Metal Mario dropped from the sky, and in a mere 17 seconds, he did the funny aerial move and fell off the edge. I had 40 seconds left. The fight with Bowser was on. I rushed in and he killed me in the first 10 seconds. So now the pressure was on. 30 seconds to take out the final boss. The time ticked down. With only a few seconds left until the 18-minute mark on the recording, Bowser grabbed a metal box, did the Bowser Bomb, fell off stage. He tried to recover, only for his metal form to be too heavy, and with 2 seconds left, he was down. The cutscene played and the Bowser trophy fell into the abyss. Pikachu stood there as all the characters do at the end of Adventure Mode.
Oh my god!
But then Bowser's trophy flew back up on the stage and lightning struck it, and there he was!
Giga Bowser's real!
And the fight was everything that 7-year-old me would have
He's
wanted. He hit
real!
harder. In fact, he hit like a truck. He took my first stock within seconds, and another almost as fast. He took almost no knockback, 200% damage, and he was still barely flying backwards. His hitbox was so big, though, that Thunderbolt was dealing double damage. I had Pikachu hit him over and over with it. The damage ticked up 300%, 350%, 400%. I threw a Pokeball and Unknown popped out, and Unknown started dealing damage. And between that and Thunderbolt, over and over, he was at 470%.
500%.
And then finally,
almost.
a capsule came to the ground. I hit Thunderbolt, and it was the rare instance of the capsule exploding rather than providing an item.
Oh my god.
And the explosion was enough.
Oh
Giga
my
Bowser
god.
went flying off the stage at almost 500% damage before his trophy fell into the abyss. And it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen as the trophy exploded. And I did it.
He's real. Giga Bowser's real.
24 years of my life.
My whole life led to that moment.
In a moment of pure euphoria, I felt like that same 7-year-old again who saw Giga Bowser on his dad's laptop in the back of a t-shirt printing shop in the middle of nowhere, Georgia, waiting for his copy of Brawl to come in. In that moment, I realized maybe sometimes we all need to try and do what we thought was impossible as a 7-year-old. And then I unlocked Jigglypuff.
Oh, okay. Sure, why not?
Hey, thank you for watching. I don't plan on doing this at the end of every video, but with this being the first, it felt right. If you don't know me, hi. My name's Xander, and I've been making content more than half my life. I started doing this YouTube thing when I was 11, and now I'm almost 24, and I've always wanted really nothing more in life than to make videos for people as my actual job. And I've never really known what kind of video it was that I felt like I was supposed to do on YouTube. I've done a lot. Let's Plays, live action, some wrestling content as well. And I think this is what I've always really deep down wanted to do, was these kind of videos. I know there's a lot of videos like this out there and a lot of channels that do this, and the fact that you stuck through this one really means a lot to me.
And if you want to see these mental breakdowns as they go down live, I try and stream about 3 times a week, maybe more depending on the week. I've got a lot of games I want to make videos on, I've got a lot of things I want to make videos on, and I hope that I'll get to see you there for those too. So, thank you all for watching. I've rambled on long enough. Can't wait to see what comes next. Welcome to the Sanctuary. I think we're going to have a lot of fun here.